A fast-moving fire erupted at a transit bus lot in Philadelphia filled with dozens of decommissioned vehicles. According to Associated Press, the Thursday morning blaze did not cause any injuries, and burned for nearly 2 hours before it was declared under control. Authorities say several Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority buses were soon engulfed in flames. The cause of the blaze was not immediately known. The city's public health department inspectors were collecting samples to assess air quality and the potential for any threat. Citing an abundance of caution, the agency warned nearby residents to stay indoors if possible.
It was about 7 to 10 buses that we felt were directly involved with fire, and they were producing the amount of smoke you saw. But there was more, or over 20 buses that were parked in this storage-contained area. So, we just moved them out the way to get that hazard out the way or of spread, so that we could address the fire itself. Because this is a storage area for SEPTA, they have informed us that all of these buses have been totally de-energized. So the hazards that we hear about with EVs wasn't presented here, in regards to a charged vehicle, but it was still the actual battery cell itself. But most of the content or areas burning in the bus were the passenger areas and not really of the engine areas. So. Well, one of the main challenges was access, and the buses are parked closely together because as it's a storage area for SEPTA, the tighter you can pack in things, the more storage you can get. So with fire, it doesn't take a large amount, it doesn't take a small amount of distance for it to spread. So it was easy for it to spread, and that's what we wanted to stop it from spreading. So pulling buses away and out was the main primary objective while we was waiting to get the amount of water we needed to address the actual fire on these buses.
I didn't know there was.
Ukraine's president on Wednesday urged his country's Western backers to speed up deliveries of air defense systems to counter Russian missile strikes and to help boost weapons production. "We need faster deliveries of air defense missiles and systems," President Volodymyr Zelensky told a Ukraine Defense Contact Group meeting at NATO headquarters in Brussels. "The emphasis," he said, "should be on US-made Patriot systems. These are the most effective way to force Russia to stop its missile strikes and terror," he said via video link, urging the representatives from around 50 countries to make good on their past pledges. According to Associated Press, U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth did not attend, making it the first time a Pentagon chief has been absent since the Forum for Organizing Ukraine's Military Aid was set up 3 years ago. His absence is the latest in a series of steps that Washington has taken to distance itself from Ukraine's efforts to repel Russia's full-scale invasion, which began on February 24, 2022. More than 12,000 Ukrainian civilians have been killed, according to UN estimates, as well as tens of thousands of soldiers on both sides. The UK, which chaired the meeting along with Germany, said that it plans a tenfold increase in drone production to help Ukraine. Drones have become a decisive factor in the war, now in its fourth year. We must ensure that Ukraine's forces have what they need, when they need it, to continue their fight. But this is not just Ukraine's battle. It's a battle for the security of Europe, for our security today, tomorrow, and for our future generations, UK Defence Secretary John Healey said.
To honor all Ukrainian children and all our people, civilians and soldiers whose lives have been taken by this war. We have no doubt that we can push Russia toward peace. But for that, we must continue to pressure Moscow with all available tools and step by step make its aggression meaningless. First, air defense. The stronger our air defense is, the less value Putin sees in attacking our cities and villages. So please, let's continue strengthening our air shield. I thank every leader, every country, and each of you who is already helping. But you also know we need faster deliveries of air defense missiles and systems. Our team has provided clear data on the number of systems we need, especially Patriot systems. And these are the most effective way to force Russia to stop its missile strikes and terror. We honor the memory of the Ukrainian children who were killed. I think we must not allow Russia to blur reality or mislead the world. Moscow must be forced into diplomacy. We need ceasefire. We need real peace. We need real security. And we must use every method available to achieve this. Our front line and our defense, our production and technology, our work to build a real security architecture. And we must be effective in all of it, I'm sure. Thank you to everyone who is helping.
Let me highlight in the beginning, quite personally, first of all, I'm back on board. A military success of Russia is neither imminent nor to be expected. Putin could put an end to this war now. However, Moscow has made it clear that it is unwilling to find a peaceful solution, continuing to insist on its maximum demands while continuing hostilities on every level. But Russia will fail, because brave Ukrainians are defending their country and their freedom, confronting the Russian aggressor with great resolve. And because we are supporting Ukraine in its defense with weapons, ammunition, training, with everything it needs, and for as long as it needs. We will continue to expand this support, and we will maintain it for the long term. This is what the coalition stands for. Russia would be mistaken to believe otherwise.
Thank you, Boris, and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, President. So as Putin's brutality continues, so must our resolve. We must ensure that Ukraine's forces have what they need, when they need it, to continue their fight. But this is not just Ukraine's battle. It's a battle for the security of Europe, for our security today, tomorrow, and for our future generations.
We have no doubt that we can push Russia toward peace.